Hey guys, it's Jessie here. I'm back with another video. Back when I filmed my makeup collection and storage update, it was requested that I give a more in-depth look at my makeup palettes because I didn't really go into them in that video. I just kind of breezed right by them. So I decided I was finally going to film that today. I've got quite a few makeup palettes. A lot of them are from e.l.f. because they're very affordable. Most of the ones I'm going to share with you today are eyeshadows. I do have a couple of palettes that have face products and lip products and things, but most of my palettes are eyeshadow palettes. I'm just going to jump right in and get started because this is going to be a long video. So, just randomly pulling from my huge pile of palettes here. First one is the e.l.f. Disney's Treasure Within Beauty Book. It's the Ariel Beauty Book. I picked this up at Walgreens not too long ago. I did a whole video on this. If you are interested, I will link that down below. I did a review and a full face of makeup with this palette. So this does have eyeshadows as well as some face products. Very nice little inexpensive palette, cool for the packaging. So that's the first palette in my collection. I also have the Snow White Beauty Book. This is the Fairest of Them All Beauty Book, and I have a video on this one as well, which I will also link down below. This one just has eyeshadows, a blush, an eye primer, an eyeliner pencil, and a lip gloss. So that's what that looks like. And again, I will link that video where I went in depth with this one down below. Some more e.l.f. palettes. I've got the Sinister Smoky Eyes Maleficent palette from e.l.f. They did a Disney collaboration a couple of years ago, and that's what this looks like. It's very nice. It's got eyeshadows as well as some other products. It's got some lashes in here. I did a blog post on this. Why don't I just go ahead and get this out of the way? If I did a video or a blog post on any of these palettes, I'll link it down below so that you can get a better look at these. I'm not going to say that every single time because I've got a lot of posts and videos on reviews on these palettes. So I've got that one. I also have, let's see, the Evil Queen one and the Cruella one. So these were, I believe, Halloween 2012. I've got a couple from Halloween 2013 as well from e.l.f. I've got, oops, I almost just dropped it, the Maleficent one from 2012 as well. And these are a little bit different, but same basic premise: eyeshadows, eyeliners, primers, and lip colors. That Ursula as well. These are very, very beautifully done, I think. What other books do I have from e.l.f.? I've got, okay, so these were holiday releases, I want to say back in 2012, maybe even 2011. Very sparkly little beauty books here. I've got the Natural Eye book, which is all eyeshadows. There was an eyeliner pencil in there as well, and these are just neutral eyeshadows. Very, very pretty packaging. These were Christmas gifts from my children that year that they were released. I also have the Flawless Face, which comes with shimmer creams, concealers, a bronzer, a blush, and a face brush. So, very nice. I don't use these very often. I got a ton of use out of these when I first got them, but they've kind of fallen down a little bit on my priority list since I've acquired more makeup over the years. But these were some of my first makeup palettes. My very first large makeup palette that I purchased was the BH Cosmetic 120 Colors palette. And when I first got this, I was obsessed. This has a ton. It's broken. That's how much I loved it, sort of used and abused. It's got a ton of eyeshadows. It's got a whole pan of eyeshadows here, and then that lifts up and it's another pan here. Tons and tons of eyeshadows. These aren't the best quality in the world, but I was just getting started with eyeshadow and really interested in lots and lots of different shades. So I purchased this as sort of a good first piece. I wanted a large variety, and I didn't want to have to buy a ton of palettes to get it. So I purchased this off of Amazon 3 or 4 years ago, and I really used a ton of these when I first got it. Not so much anymore. Another large kind of inexpensive palette that I have is from Eyes, Lips, Face. This doesn't have any sort of name on it, so I'm not sure exactly which one this is, but it's 100 colors. It's in white packaging, so I'm assuming it was a spring release. And it's just got a huge range of eyeshadows of every color you can imagine. Lots of satins, some mattes in there. So this was another one of those things that I bought thinking I would just get a ton of eyeshadows and get a ton of use out of it. And I honestly haven't used this too much. So maybe this is something I should pull out and get some use out of. e.l.f. eyeshadows aren't necessarily the greatest, especially the ones in these palettes, but a lot of times there's some hidden gems. So while overall they might not be fantastic, still good but not fantastic, sometimes you really hit pay dirt with these. So that's that. I've got some of the smaller e.l.f. palettes as well, and again, these don't have names, so I don't know which ones they were. Maybe it was an everyday eyes or a neutral eyes palette. I really don't know, and that's a shame. I wish these were better identified with a little sticker or something. But this is all sort of neutral shades. And these, I believe, have 32 eyeshadows in them, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is some more neutral shades, but there's some color in there as well. So these I have gotten a lot of use out of over the years. I do like these little small 32-piece shadows from e.l.f. They usually come out with a new one of these every season, so I'm sure there's some on e.l.f.'s website available right now, and the quality's generally pretty decent with those. Let's just get through the rest of the e.l.f. palettes. I've got another one of these 32-piece palettes. This was a spring release, and this is lots of pretty colors. Some purples and some greens there, some blues, and then the grayscale. So that was a pretty versatile little palette. Let's see, what else do I have from e.l.f. here? I have this e.l.f. Studio. This was one of these custom things where you could buy the case for it, and then you can buy these little individual pans that you could pop in and out of here. This one is Day on the Beach. I don't know if these are still available on e.l.f.'s website or not, but they come with 10 eyeshadows, a couple of lip colors, and then a blush with each little pan. And you also have this little case that you can pop out and travel with. So this holds just one of the little palettes. This one that's in here is, let's see if I can do this without dropping it on the floor. This one is Night on the Town, so there's some smokier colors there, some deeper lip colors, and a nice vampy kind of blush. And then this other one that's in here is Tuscany Retreat, and it's just, again, neutral shadows with a couple of purples in there. Nice lip colors there, and then a pretty peachy blush. So that was kind of a cool concept that e.l.f. came out with. I thought it was kind of neat. So that's that. Let's see, is that all of the e.l.f. palettes? Nope, I got a couple of more. I told you guys I have a ton of e.l.f. stuff. So I've got a little black beauty book from e.l.f. This is the Festive Everyday book. And it's got some neutrals here on this side, and then some more colorful shadows here. These little beauty books are nice. They're kind of palm-sized, very easy to travel with. There's some decent quality shadows in here. You get a nice little mirror, an eyeshadow applicator, which I don't use. And it's just a nice kind of wide variety of colors in a more compact size. So I really like these little beauty books from e.l.f. I've got an 18-piece eyeshadow palette from Eyes, Lips, Face. This was one of the geometric palettes, and I actually won this in a giveaway on a beauty blog that I'm subscribed to. But this has some neutrals, some blues, and some smokier colors. I wasn't a huge fan of this palette, so it honestly hasn't gotten a lot of love from me, but that's there as well. And I believe that that is all of my e.l.f. palettes. I may come across a couple more in here while I'm going through this, but like I said, lots and lots of e.l.f. palettes. They're so affordable, it's hard to pass them up. Another thing that I have a lot of are Urban Decay palettes. I have a ton of Urban Decay palettes. Urban Decay is my #1 favorite higher-end eyeshadow brand. I love Urban Decay's eyeshadows, and I love their palettes. So the first one I have here is the Urban Decay Vice 2 palette. I got this as a Christmas gift from my husband last year. This is absolutely beautiful. Pops open, and I'm going to try not to blind you guys with this huge mirror, but it's got these gorgeous eyeshadow shades, lots of jewel tones and brighter colors or deeper colors, not so much neutrals. There are some neutrals in here, but there's really pretty jewel tones, a lot of sparkle and shine in this palette, and like I said, a huge mirror, so this is all you need. Really great quality. I love my Vice 2 palette. Some more from Urban Decay. I've got the Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy palette, which is just 4 very shimmery eyeshadows. It comes with Rump, Midnight Cowgirl, Midnight Cowboy Rides Again, and Midnight Cowboy. So those are all very sparkly and pretty, and I love the packaging on this. I'm a sucker for purple packaging, and Urban Decay does purple a lot with their packaging. Case in point, I've got this eyeshadow palette. I'm not sure what the name of this one is. It's like a shadow box or something. I'll put the name somewhere around here so you can see what it is. But this comes with 9 eyeshadows. Again, pretty bright colors. Not necessarily things that I wear all the time, but definitely good to have. It's got a couple of eyeshadow applicators in there, a nice big mirror, and these colors are all really fun. So I pull this out in the summertime a lot, especially this Peace shade right here, this blue. Very pretty. Another little Urban Decay palette I have here is the Roller Girl palette, and this comes with 4 eyeshadows, 3 neutrals, and then a bright pop of pink there. This is Woodstock, Verve, Suspect, and Dark Horse. I'm not going to go through all the colors on all these palettes, obviously, but smaller palettes like this, I don't mind kind of showing you what I've got. But these are really pretty. A lot of these shadows are in the Naked palette, which I didn't have when I purchased this. I kind of hold me over until I could get that. Plus that Woodstock shade is a lot of fun, that pretty pink. So the packaging on these little palettes from Urban Decay are so cute. And I just got pink eyeshadow all over me. Another one from Urban Decay, I believe this was the Skull Shadow Box or something. Again, if I'm getting these names wrong, I'll link them down below or put an annotation or something so that you guys know, but this is a nice variety of shades here. Again, there's 9 shades, some neutrals, some more brighter tones. I bought a lot of these Urban Decay palettes when they were on clearance on Urban Decay's website for like $13 a piece or something, so I have a lot of them. Anytime that one went on clearance, I kind of snatched it up because, like I said, I love Urban Decay's eyeshadows. Another one is the Fun palette. This has since been reformulated and repackaged, but I got the original, and it's got 9 super fun shades. Fun palette, obviously. It's got some neutral tones and then some bright pops of color, so a good kind of versatile palette there. A big mirror, and it came with a little, oh, I just stuck my finger right in that Oozy shade, which is very shimmery and bright. I believe it came with a little eyeliner pencil, which I have in my makeup collection now, so there's that. And I apologize if I'm kind of speeding through this and speed talking. I don't want this to be a 45-minute long video, you guys. This is the Urban Decay Mariposa palette, and this one comes with 10 gorgeous eyeshadows. This is one of my all-time favorites from Urban Decay. Again, it's got some neutrals and some pops of color, which Urban Decay is kind of famous for. Urban Decay's eyeshadows are very, very good quality. I like this because it's packaged in a tin case, so it's really easy to travel with. It's not super large, and the packaging is beautiful. It's got that butterfly, which I believe mariposa is the Spanish word for butterfly, and if I'm totally wrong, then feel free to correct me, but that's that. Moving on to some more Urban Decay eyeshadows. Can you guys sense a theme? All my palettes are Elf and Urban Decay. This is the original Ammo palette. Again, this has been reformulated and repackaged, but I have the original, and this I coveted for years. This was one of my very first makeup products that I sort of lusted after, other than my Naked palettes. I love this Last Call shade right here. That's really what drew me to this palette. That and the packaging. This has 10 eyeshadows, some very shimmery, pretty ones, and it's just really versatile. So I really love that one. I've got my beloved Naked palettes. I have Naked 1, 2, and 3. These are my all-time favorite makeup palettes. I just love them. I love the way that they're laid out. I love the huge variety of neutrals. I'm definitely a neutral girl. So Naked 1 is full of just straight up kind of warmer neutrals. Naked 2 comes in a nice tin case, which is great for traveling, and this is more cool toned neutrals, which I love, especially this time of year. And Naked 3, which is my newest addition to the Naked line, is rosy toned neutrals. Very, very pretty. This isn't my favorite of the Naked palettes, but it is gorgeous nonetheless. Also in the Naked line, I've got the Naked Basics palette, which is probably my most used palette. I love the size. I love how easy it is to travel with. It snaps closed very securely. It's got a big mirror, and it's got these gorgeous matte neutrals, which cannot be beat. I really want to get the Naked 2 Basics. I might put that on my Christmas list. Oh, look here, I forgot an e.l.f. palette. This is another one of those beauty books from e.l.f. Does it say which one it is? Everyday Eye. I got this one at Big Lots a couple of years ago, or maybe last year, for $3. It's just some more neutral shades, purple and a black there. These aren't the best quality in the world, but I'm a sucker for these little beauty books, especially when I can get them on clearance. So there's that. I have my little jacked up homemade Z palette, which looks terrible but functions well. So this is just made out of a DVD case and wrapped in some, was supposed to be pretty tape, but it looks terrible. But I just have all my single eyeshadows in there. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I've got some Coastal Scents Hot Pots and some of those $1 e.l.f. Customize eyeshadows, as well as some little mini ones from Coastal Scents and other places. So that's that. I really need to buy an actual Z palette because this is sort of janky, but whatever, it works for now. I've got this little LA Colors little black book, which just has this little elastic thing that closes it, and it's got little dime size eyeshadows in there, which are a lot of fun. I actually had used this and enjoyed it a lot. It was one of those dollar store purchases, I believe, but pretty decent quality eyeshadows for $1. And it did come with a little eyeshadow applicator, but I always throw those away. I never use those. I have brushes. I have a little lip quad from, I believe this was Coastal Scents, or was it Coastal Scents? Yeah. I feel like this is Coastal Scents. It doesn't say on it, but it's just a little Passionberry lip quad. It's got 4 little lip colors. I have never used this. I got this in a Coastal Scents mystery box, and it's sat untouched since then, so I really should get some use out of that. The last thing I'm going to talk to you guys about are some Wet n Wild eyeshadow palettes. I've got the 2 of the 10-pan palettes here, so I have some more trios and 6-pan palettes in my makeup collection, but they're not really large enough that I can't store them in my drawer, so I'm not going to go over those with you. But I've got the Petal Pusher palette, which is beautiful purple toned shadows, and the Comfort Zone palette, which is neutrals and some really pretty greens, which I get a ton of use out of both of these. I love the Wet n Wild eyeshadows so much. They're right up there with Urban Decay quality in my opinion, and for $1/4 of the price. So that was my palette collection. I know it was a lot. I know that I didn't really go too into detail with a lot of them. If you want to see specific videos on any of these palettes, let me know. I'd be happy to do those. I do take requests. Sometimes it takes me a little while to get to them, but this video was a request, so yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, because I'd love to have you back, and I will talk to you guys again really soon. Bye everyone.